It was a very thought-provoking, very challenging production. I loved the physicality of it, but it also made me think. It took me back to some time that I spent working in a nursing home where there were people who were suffering from dementia and some of their behaviours. It also reminded me of how important memory is and what we need to do to preserve memory for those that have difficulty at times remembering.
I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was incredibly moving in a way that I hadn't quite expected. I knew what the storyline was going to be, but I think there is something about the performance, particularly, Helen is an exquisite performer. There's something about the fragility and the vulnerability that she portrays that is so incredibly affecting.
Oh, absolutely. I think that everybody who came to tonight's show was expecting different things, but it was extraordinary to listen to people afterwards and get their reactions. 99% of people had a really emotional response. I cried. My wife cried. It was really quite a moving show. We really loved it.
I don't know if challenging's the right word. I think really pulling on some emotional strings and really kind of bringing up, I don't really quite know how to, just really that emotional turbulence and going on the roller coaster ride with her, feeling her joys, her frustrations, her, the family around her and how that was for them, and trying to really keep shifting with the shifting ground that was her mind.
I don't think I was challenged by it because I have a friend who's just been through this experience with her mother, so I think I recognised it, and there's great poignancy in that, and also thinking about my parents and my situation and feeling quite lucky. My parents are 82 and 83 and still live at home and they're independent, but that's just chance really, and so I think the empathy that Helen draws out of the audience for that particular situation, just you can translate it. We all know somebody.
Well, we've got used to seeing productions these days that involve lots of different performing arts, but this was quite different from anything I've seen for quite a while.
I do come a few times a year. I often come here. I really love it here at the Theatre Royal. And often I have seen things with, I really like them to have a physical aspect like a dance or a circus type or some kind of movement with the body, and I thought that was a really beautiful mix of that and the use of that sliding in and out.
I don't think we tend to see a lot of this kind of integration in Australia. It's either text-based narrative or it's contemporary dance or it's physical theatre, and so I think for me the interest is in the marriage of those three forms. So I don't think it's stuff that particularly Hobart audiences would have seen terribly much, and I think the response that the show got tonight was really justified. I think it's clearly something that an audience understands and is hungry for, and is I think we're always interested in the story, and if the form supports the story, then I think the audience will always respond.
I've been involved in a little bit of theatre, and I haven't seen millions of shows, but I've seen a few, and what was really interesting about this one was the integration of the dance and the movement and this extraordinary sound garden of music, and the action and the amazing performance by Helen and the team. It was really the integration of all of those different elements, which was what made it really capturing. Yeah, look, I think that often the dance tableau is just like a sort of Greek chorus in the background, and you sort of think, oh yeah, they're the dancers. And I think that the struggle that not only the person who has dementia, but the family and friends, the struggle that they have and the stress and the pressure that's put on them was really expressed so uniquely by the physical movement of the dances, the duets and the trio, the climbing up the wall, the whole sort of fight scene reminiscent of West Side Story almost. You know, it was really quite an expressive way of using movement to define and you know, give some colour and movement to what was happening with the characters, and I found that really, really new and really quite extraordinary.
Yes, definitely. I really enjoy the way it just sort of stretches how we think about things, really. And today's was so topical, and I think to have those topical performances that really challenge ourselves in the way we tend to think about the world around us, yeah, really brilliant. I love theatre, so.
Some of the dance pieces I thought were astoundingly beautiful. The beach scene, I loved. The fluidity in the beach scene was just breathtaking. And, you know, I mean, I have a slight background in physical theatre, so actually seeing that integration and the two men with the piece on the wall was, you know, it was fabulous.
That's what theatre does to you. It transforms you and transforms the subject matter, and that's what happened tonight.